Clev, just what have you maybe from watching Corey, watching Carlos, what have you maybe picked up, and also just from looking at the Houston lineup and their approach against them?
I mean, there's a few things, but I think something that's kind of eye-opening is how often they capitalize on mistake pitches, and you don't see a lineup top to bottom really be able to do that every time you make a mistake. So I think really honing in on two-strike pitches and really paying attention to how you're setting them up, I think is going to be a big key.
Any more? Yeah.
When you get the benefit of looking at a team through the first two games of a series, how much do you take into account maybe what they did against, Corey and Carlos, and how much do you just kind of focus on what you do well and just maybe even pepper in some of that other stuff?
Yeah, I'd say it's just a blend. I mean, we mapped out a game plan with my, repertoire or whatever and my pitches, and obviously you're going to take into account for how they adjusted to, Kluber and how they adjusted to anybody that went on the mound, and then kind of mold that into your own game plan.
Paul?
Mike, what's the attitude of the team right now? Did you pick up any kind of vibe coming back last night, being down 0-2 and coming into an elimination game?
I mean, we're definitely our backs are against the wall, but I think the biggest vibe is we can just go leave it on the field because it's good. We know that this could be our last game if we don't show up. So, if anything, everyone's going to leave what they have out there, and I think that's going to be good to see at home.
Oh, more for Mike? Paul?
Did you've been on the other end of this as well. You saw what the Yankees did to you guys last year. In some kind of twisted way, does that give you some encouragement that, you can win 3 straight and you can, keep going here at advance?
Yeah, I think that's kind of been the trend of our team too. It's we might have had some little cold stretches where we weren't putting pieces together, but the second we got that good team win and that good roll, it seemed like no matter who came around us, we were going to beat them. So I think just getting that good team win at home tomorrow could steamroll this into something special.
Tito, will you go with normal kind of lineup against a lefty tomorrow, or do you expect any changes? Or?
I think we're going to play Guyer in right and Edwin at first and DH Yandy. That's kind of what we've been doing the last, 6-8 weeks when everybody's healthy.
Jordan?
Tito, just how much do you think it helps Clev that he has known that Game 3 was his assignment, he could prepare for it, it's different than his past postseason experiences?
You know what? I think whatever you throw at Clev, he'll be okay. I think when you know what's in front of you, you can certainly prepare. But I also think that there's times like what Trevor's doing right now. I think he's handling it fine too. I think you get into these situations and it's kind of all hands on deck and you do whatever you can to help. I think if we'd asked Clev to go to the bullpen, he would have done that too. I know Kluber had asked us yesterday, if he should go to the bullpen. It's that time of year where guys, they want to help. So I think he'd have handled it either way.
Any more for Terry? Jordan?
Do you have a plan in place if it gets to Game 4 starter-wise, or are you not looking that far ahead yet?
Well, it depends how we get there. It would either be Bieber or Bauer. Trevor's obviously available in the bullpen tomorrow. So we'll, right now we want to get to Game 4. So, you can't, it may take all hands on deck to get there. And then if that happens, then we'll figure it out.
Again, this is kind of looking ahead a little bit, but with Carlos, given he only threw 77 pitches, when would you anticipate he would be soonest available in a bullpen setting?
Soonest, possibly Game 4. That would be the soonest, and that might be pushing it a little bit. A lot of it depends on how he feels, how he comes out of that. But that's would definitely be a possibility.
Paul?
Tito, what kind of vibe did you get from the players coming home last night? Where do you think they are? You know, kind of down 0-2. You're facing an elimination game.
Yeah, kind of like I said last night after the game. You know, I think Houston's going to enjoy the off day a lot more than us. That's kind of human nature. You know, we have an optional workout today. We got a ton of guys in here. Some are getting treatment, some are hitting, some guys are throwing. No, we're okay. You know, I'd rather be up 2-0 than down 2-0. But it's still the first one to get to 3. And I'd rather have a chance than no chance. I mean, I understand that the odds start to go not in your favor. But I've been on both sides of this and come back and had people come back on us. You know, so rather than spend a ton of time thinking about all that, we need to figure out a way to beat them, because the first 2 games they've really kind of had their way with us. We need to change that.
Paul?
What challenges does Keuchel present? I know you're pretty familiar with him.
Obviously different than the first 2 guys. You know, one, he's left-handed. He's not the power pitcher that those 2 guys are. I think the best way to say it is he's probably always feels like he's a pitch away from a double play. You know, he can sink that ball arm side and off of that throw his changeup. And, you know, again, I think the best way I could say it is, you know, you have to stay true to what you believe against him, because you're always one pitch away from him getting out of a rally because he can sink it so well.